Good morning, grade 8. So, this is our simple home repair. Our lesson is electrical job. Okay. So, the first is I have a question. I have three questions, rather. Okay. So, why we need to learn do simple electrical repair job? And why do we need to observe safety precautions in doing electrical repair jobs? And last is why we need to use the right tools and equipment for doing electrical repair jobs. So, yung mga tanong na yan, bakit nga ba? Okay, so hindi naman ilalagay yan sa papel, no? So, tanong lang yan sa isip natin. So, bakit kailangan natin malaman sa gantong edad, bakit kailangan kong malaman yan? It is, dahil lang ba sa lesson na to? O magagamit ko to in the future or mamaya magagamit ko to. Okay, so, hindi natin alam, di ba? So, ano nga ba ang electrical job? Electrical job or electrical work means wiring for installing and repairing electrical apparatus and equipment for electric light, heat, and power. So, malamang electric, from the word electric, ito ay may patungkol sa kuryente, okay? Sa paggagawa, okay? Okay, pag-aayos ng kuryente. So, ayun ang ating itatakal. So, kaya medyo nakakatakot siya kasi nga, hindi face to face, okay? Kumbaga, hindi ma-assist. Pero alam ko nandiyan dyan ang mga parents or mga naman nakakatanda na may alam din naman about dito. So, kung wala, magsabi lang po sa akin para mas mag-guide ko din po kayo sa sa activity natin. Okay. Countless house fires are caused by poor wiring techniques. So kung makikita nyo yung bad and good wiring technique. Okay. So dito kasi sa bad, possible na magkaroon ng sunog. Okay. Kasi nga, ang gulo-gulo niya, bad nga, 'di ba? While dito sa good, napakaayos niya. Okay, alam mo kung saan nakalinya, saan nakapunta, mas madali mo siya ma-identify. So, ayan po yung mga nagiging cause bakit minsan nagkakaroon ng sunog, ng problema sa wiring natin. Ayan, dahil nga sa mga poor wiring techniques. Okay, kung mailagay lang, mailagay. Next is the substandard materials. Okay, mga yan, yung extension, di ba? Fireworks, okay? Tapos sa New Year, nagpa-fireworks pa extension natin. So, mga substandard materials. And also the faulty extension cord, okay? Yung may mga sirang extension. Ayan. Na-experience ko yan, pero hindi naman talaga siya nasunog. Kumbaga, biglang nag-link, hindi ko alam na meron palang parang nagasgasan yung extension na ginagamit ko. And then, nadikit siya sa paper. Ayun, lumiyab siya. So, we need to check muna yung extension. Pero syempre, tanggalin yung saksak ha. Baka mamaya, sinaksak nyo, tapos nilapat nyo yung kamay nyo at iginayod nyo doon sa wire. Baka mamaya may open wire yon, okay? At kuryente pa kayo. So, we need to be careful. Next is the defective electrical appliances. Ito yung mga sirang appliances na pilit nating ginagamit at ending, nasira yung ating, hindi lang yung mismong appliances, also yung sa sa outlet natin. Nasisira po yun. Okay? So, it is very dangerous to do anything electrical repair or installation when you have little knowledge on how to perform it. Hence, it is essential to follow strictly certain electrical codes to avoid accidents. So, yes, pinag-isipan ko talaga ko i-discuss ko sa inyo to, lalo na sa simple home repair kasi sa masonry, sa faucet, para kasi hindi naman siya possible. Pero ito kasi, importante siya sa inyo, pero 50-50 dahil baka mamaya ay anong mangyari sa inyo. Kaya, dapat po mayroong presence ng magulang na nakakaalam pa rin dito. Okay? Pero hindi naman natin gagawin talaga yung tayo mag-aayos ng electrical wiring sa bahay nyo. Okay? Okay, magkalala. So, dito sa sinasabing, ano ba yung electrical code to avoid accidents? So, I show you a video. Okay? I hope maririnig siya. Ayan. So, ito yon, nakita ko na siya. Ay, hindi siya ma-download kasi nasa site siya. Ayan, play natin. Ayan. So, that is electrical code for outlet.
You're going to want to know what electrical code is for outlets. I'll run through the basic code requirements here, but as always, make sure you check with your local building authority. So starting in general areas like living rooms, family rooms, and bedrooms, outlets should be spaced on the walls no farther than 12 feet apart. So I've got an outlet in there, and as you'll see, I've got another outlet over there less than 12 feet away. That's
Okay,
so
dapat
that
less
no
than 12
lamp
feet
wire
away.
or any other wire for a device you have plugged in has to stretch more than 6 feet in either direction. Make sure you install 15 or 20 amp outlets depending on the amperage carried by the wire, and they should also be tamper resistant. Tamper resistant outlets were designed for child safety. They have a spring-loaded shutter that only opens when both prongs of a plug are inserted, but they won't open for things like hairpins or paper clips or anything else a tiny hand might want to jam in there. In kitchen areas, countertop receptacles should be spaced no more than 48 inches apart, and any countertop area 12 inches or longer needs a receptacle. Only install GFCI outlets over countertops. GFCI stands for ground fault circuit interrupter and refers to those receptacles that have an internal sensor that works like a circuit breaker. It helps to prevent against accidental electrocution, and they're required in all wet areas like kitchens and bathrooms. And for that same reason, you're not allowed to put any face-up outlets on countertops or work surfaces. It'd be too easy to get them wet, and that would be very dangerous. All kitchen islands and peninsulas are required to have at least one receptacle. In bathrooms, all outlets must be within 3 feet of the outside edge of any sink basin. And again, we're in a wet area, so that means GFCI outlets only. Also, no face-up outlets on countertops. For obvious reasons, you can't install outlets in showers or over any bathtubs. And all receptacles in bathrooms must be on a separate 20 amp branch circuit, or a single dedicated 20 amp circuit can serve an entire bathroom, including lighting and the vent fan. So that's the basics, but remember to check with your local code authority before starting any electrical projects.
Okay, that's all. So it's for interruption sa message. So that is the electrical code natin. So back na tayo dito. So dapat susundin natin yung ating electrical codes to avoid accident. Ayun nga, hindi pwedeng kung saan lang tayo maglalagay ng outlet, hindi pwedeng magkakalapit ang outlet. Okay, so we need to, para mas maganda is kailangan mag-ask tayo sa mga expert pa din. Okay, so let's proceed sa replacing an electrical outlet. Have you ever tried plugging your charger in one of your electrical outlet only to find out that the electrical receptacle is not working? There is a possible explanation. It is totally damaged because the improper use, like sticking a paper clip or hairpin into it or plugging into appliances, causing a short circuit regardless of how the damage occurred. The electrical outlet should be repaired immediately. So I'll show you a video again kung paano ba mag-replace ng electrical ng outlet natin sa bahay. Okay?
How to replace an electrical outlet. Working with electricity is very dangerous. Be extremely careful, and if you have any doubts, contact a professional. If your old outlet has become so loose that a cord barely stays in place, it's time to change it. It's not just an annoyance, it's a hazard. You will need a flathead screwdriver, a digital camera, a new outlet, and wire cutters. Optional, a voltage detector. Step 1. Cut the power to the outlet by flipping the circuit breaker or removing the fuse at the main panel. If you have a voltage detector, test that the power is off by inserting the tip of it into the outlet's smaller slot, or just plug in an electrical fixture that you know is in working condition and test it. Step 2. When you're certain the power is off, unscrew and remove the outlet cover. Step 3. Unscrew and remove the outlet itself from the electrical box. Notice how the wires are connected to it, either by 2 screws on the sides of the outlet or fastened to the back. Take a digital picture of the back of the outlet so you'll have a reference of what wires attach where. Step 4. Detach the wires. If they're attached on the side by screws, loosen the screws with the screwdriver. If they're inserted in holes in the back, place the screwdriver in the slot located next to each hole to release the wire. Step 5. Take your old outlet to the hardware store and purchase a new one just like the old one. Step 6. Install the new outlet by connecting the green or bare copper ground wire first. Bend the tip of the wire into a loop with the wire cutter and curl it around the screw in a clockwise direction. Use the screwdriver to tighten the screw into place. You'll need about ½ an inch of bare wire to wrap around the screw. If you don't have enough, use the wire cutters to remove excess insulation. Step 7. Connect the white wire, followed by the rest of the wires. Step 8. Replace the outlet in the electrical box, making sure the green or bare copper grounding wire is not touching the other wires. Step 9. Replace the outlet cover. Step 10. Turn the power back on. You can use a voltage detector to check the outlet for power, or test it with an appliance. Congratulate yourself for a job well done. Did you know electricity travels at the speed of light, more than 186,000 miles per second?
Ayan. So, ganun po nagpapalit ng outlet or electrical outlet natin. So, hindi ba sa pinapalitan? So, meron siyang 10 step, okay, na dapat nating i-follow. Hindi pwede yung buksan mo kaagad yung outlet, unscrew mo kaagad. So, you need to turn off first yung pinaka main switch natin. And dapat alam po ng mga tao sa bahay na pinatay mo yon. Okay, baka kasi mamaya habang ginagawa mo to, ay biglang i-on dahil nakita nila nakapatay. Ending na kuryente ka. So, dapat alam po sa bahay na in-off mo po yon. Pwede ka rin iwan ng note. Okay? Next is, so I hope na pwede nyo balikan yung video para alam nyo paano mag-check, okay, sa electrical outlet natin. Ngayon naman, how to replacing a light switch. Okay?
How to replace a light switch. Working with electricity is very dangerous. Be extremely careful, and if you have any doubts, contact a professional. Faulty switches are easy to fix, you just have to exercise caution. You will need a screwdriver, a new switch, and a circuit tester. Optional, electrical tape or digital camera. Step 1. Cut the power to the light switch by flipping the circuit breaker or removing the fuse at the main panel. Tell everybody in the house that you have turned off the power intentionally, or put a note on the breaker so no one turns it back on while you're working. Make sure the power is off by flipping the light switch. Step 2. Unscrew and remove the light switch cover plate. Step 3. Unscrew the screws that anchor the switch in the electrical box and remove the switch. It should now only be attached by a few wires. Use a circuit tester to make sure none of the wires going into the switch are live. Step 4. Locate the screws or clamps holding the wires in place, then loosen and pull the wires free. Note which wire came from which screw so you can correctly install the new switch. If your memory is bad, tag the wires with pieces of electrical tape, or take a digital picture you can reference later. Step 5. Be sure the new switch is oriented correctly, with the on and off markers in the correct position. Attach the wires to the new switch by wrapping them around the screws or placing them into the clamps and tightening them into place. Step 6. Put the switch back into the wall and replace and tighten the screws. Step 7. Replace and screw in the light switch cover plate. Step 8. Restore power to your light switch and check that it's working. Did you know, in most American homes, about 25% of the electricity used is for lighting?
Ayan, I hope you understand also how to replace a light switch. So, dalawa lang yun ha, yung electrical outlet saka light switch, yung pagpapalit. So next, if you don't have any question, or pwede naman, yes, wala naman talaga question ngayon dahil video lesson ito. Pag may tanong, pwedeng ako in chat. And our activity time is do a spot check related to electrical concerns at home. Get the assistance of an adult family member in your house. Again, assistance. Hindi pwedeng ikaw lang ang gagawa. Kailangan merong assistance ng nakakatanda at may alam po dito. Okay? Baka si mama niya nagpa-assist ka sa kuya mo, okay, hindi rin pala alam kasi hindi niya rin pala alam to papaano. So, kailangan pa magpapa-assist ka po sa adult sa mas nakakaalam. Okay, so kay papa or kay mama kung alam nila. Kung hindi pa rin wala nakakalam sa bahay, just chat me po para mag-guide po kita. At possible kung anong gagawin natin. And use your lesson on doing an electrical job as your guide. Write a report. Sa report mo, include a plan of action for every electrical problem you spotted. Okay, so halimbawa wala ka naman nakitang problem, di wala. Pero maglalagay ka pa rin, magsusulat ka ba din? Kasi i-detail mo nga lang doon na as you check, walang naging problem. Okay? So, again, you need to be careful sa gagawin na activity natin. Okay? Pwede rin siguro, kasi ako na natatakot sa inyo, pwede, especially sa outlet, gamitin nyo yung extension na lang. Okay? Kung gumagana ba yung extension. Okay? Check nyo yung extension, yung pinaka-outlet niya, okay, kung tama yung paglalagay, ayun na lang siguro. Pero kung gusto niyo ma-experience talaga and then meron namang mag-guide sa inyo, so you can try para at least, diba, alam na natin yung gagawin natin. Ang ano lang kasi is, kailangan kasi sana nasa side nyo ako para mas mag-guide ko kayo. Pero kung dyan naman si mama si papa na nakakaalam din, so it's okay. So that's all. Maki-video, okay, yung gagawin. Hindi naman kailangan sobrang haba, hindi naman kailangan ipaliwanag, hindi na kailangan i-edit. Videohan nyo lang, okay, tas or pwedeng time-lapse nyo lang, pwede na din yun. Or ano lang naman yan, evidence lang. And also, isusulat nyo po siya sa yellow paper at ayun po yung ipapasa nyo sa akin. Okay? Yung report. Sa yellow paper isusulat at ayun yung ipapasa sa akin. Yung video na evidence, ipopost po yun sa group. So that's all. Again, I'm Teacher Joseph, your TLE teacher. Thanks and God bless.